7 days from right now, polls will be closed in more than half of the states. We may be close to knowing the next president, but there will still be one very big and ugly question out there. Fox News digital politics editor Chris Stirewalt raised it in his column today when he wrote that, quote, "The odds the next president will serve a full term are probably not as good as you would like." With Hillary Clinton facing multiple investigations and Donald Trump facing a big civil trial and maybe more, things could quickly get dicey for our new president-elect. Joining us on that, former FBI Assistant Director in Charge, James Kallstrom, along with former President Obama Deputy Press Secretary Bill Burton. But first, Trace Gallagher has more on the issues here. Trace?
Megan, if Hillary wins the White House, Republicans are already promising to launch investigations. Utah GOP Congressman Jason Chaffetz, who chairs the House Oversight Committee, calls it a target-rich environment. Or as Fox News political analyst Chris Stirewalt says, quote, "The options available to Republicans in Congress for the next potential Clinton impeachment are a veritable salad bar of fixins." And I'll tell you what, Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson thinks the email scandal will continue to haunt Hillary. Listen.
You know, you cannot conceal, you can't destroy them. And by the way, that statute is penalized by fines, imprisonment, and disqualification from holding any office of the United States.
And House Speaker Paul Ryan believes there's a mandate to keep investigating Clinton, considering that only about a third of voters say she's honest and trustworthy. If Donald Trump becomes president, there stand to be many trips between the White House and the courthouse. Mr. Trump is still defending himself against charges that his Trump University was nothing more than a real estate course intended to bilk students out of money. Trump has also threatened to file lawsuits against the women who have accused him of sexual assault. And VP nominee Tim Kaine says Trump's campaign comments are also in the mix. Watch.
When Donald Trump went on the air publicly and said to the Russians, hey, go ahead and hack away, and if you find something that helps me out, let me have it, we impeached a president for that, what he has encouraged Russia to do.
So far, only President Nixon has left office early. Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton were both impeached by the House, but acquitted in the Senate. Megan.
Trace, thanks. Well, our next guest not only says folks at the FBI are upset with the way this Clinton investigation was handled, he's comparing the Clinton clan to organized crime. James Kallstrom is a former assistant director in charge of the FBI. Jim, good to see you.
Hi, how are you?
So you say, that actually this blows Watergate away in your view, what the Clintons have done, what Hillary has done. Why? I mean, get specific on that.
Well, the pay for play. I mean, the foundation that gives less than 6% of the money to charity, according to reports that I've read. You know, the way they treated the Haitians, I think, is a classic example, where they collected all this money and very little of it went to Haiti. Mm-hmm. And this goes on and on. I mean, it's just and look at WikiLeaks. I mean, look at the emails themselves and the complicity of staff, and it just goes on and on. Mm-hmm. I mean, and the lying is just.
You have not given Director Comey a pass on this show,
no.
And certainly, not in July when he decided not to indict her because you thought he had the goods. But what do you make of what he did this time? Did he do the right thing?
Yeah, I've been pretty tough on Jim because I think the investigation was not a real investigation. There was no grand jury, no subpoenas, no search warrants. And that's not an FBI criminal investigation. That's not the way they're conducted.
Why? Why would he do that?
I just think he could, for whatever reason, he didn't stand up to the politics of this thing for some reason. I can't get in his head. Okay. I thought he was a great guy. I think he's done the right thing now. I think he had no choice. He's between the rock and a hard place. I mean, for the New York office and other offices to be, giving him this information about what's on Anthony Weiner's computer, it's got to be something very substantial.
It's a code red moment.
Yeah, it's a code red moment. I mean, they only had the metadata initially. They have authority to look at certain things about Weiner, and his activities.
Yeah, and they see the metadata
right.
there. And
they see the metadata, and they see all this metadata, and they probably look at a few of these things just to get an idea of actually what's there. Does it involve Weiner, and they see some smoking guns or some big explosions.
So they bring it up. I mean, they bring it up actually to the second in command, is what we're told. And then some time passes, and suddenly Comey's like, wait, what? And he comes out. Now, do you believe, because, some people say the FBI has gotten a black eye. They got a black eye in July when Comey didn't indict, but then came out and said she was a liar, basically.
Yeah.
And then this time around, the roles are reversed.
Yeah, but let me be clear about one thing. The FBI getting a black eye is not the agents. It's not the guys that work there and the girls that work there and the ladies that work there. You know, it's the people that run the organization, for whatever reason, did what they did. But I think now he had no choice. I mean, you know, if he's getting this major information, what is he going to do? Talk about it after it leaks out? Talk about it, you know, who knows? You know, who knows what that even is?
Yeah, the men and
having
women of
him
the FBI
involved,
they're working hard, and their morale is low because they're getting dumped on and they can't defend themselves.
Exactly.
I want to ask you this. You're a Trump supporter. You admit he's made a lot of mistakes. You are past those mistakes. You're still voting for Donald Trump. Explain why.
Yeah, Megan, I'm not a politician. I've never come out for any politician. I have actually a very low regard for most of them. You know, but I consider myself a patriot. I mean, maybe that's a bad word in today's age, which is a shame, quite frankly. But I think he would do a better job at keeping the United States what the United States is supposed to be. You know, getting our culture back. Our culture has been demeaned tremendously. Look at our education system. I mean, just look at everything about the country. We're in huge debt. You know, we're not doing things right. We're not dealing with the world right. We're not dealing with our military, our police officers. We're treating them like crap. I mean, we're just not doing the right things, and I think he'll do a much better job than Hillary. She's got too much baggage. The Democrats are to blame here because they put someone up to run for president that has a long trail of lying. I mean, she went to the Andrews Air Force Base when the bodies came back from Benghazi, one of which was a son of a dear friend of mine, and told those families, look, we're going to arrest the guy that made the videotape. You know, he's the person responsible for the death of your sons in those coffins right there.
Yeah, we've had family members testify to that. She denies it, but family members, I mean, one dad has contemporaneous notes, you know, in his record book.
No, that's what she did. I mean, how can we elect someone that would do that thing?
Great to see you, Jim.
Okay,
as always. Joining me now with reaction, former Obama White House Deputy Press Secretary Bill Burton. Bill, good to see you. Snazzy with the glasses tonight.
Good to see you, Megan.
I like that look.
I'm going blind.
So you could see, I mean, there's already talk of who's going to get impeached. It's like, who's going to get elected? Who's going to get impeached? How soon can the hearings begin?
Look, you know, after you hear all this stuff about Republicans and how they want to have hearings on this and hearings on that, how about a hearing on job creation or wage growth or education or something that actually matters in the lives of Americans? After this election, the email issue will have been so litigated that the American people will be really ready to move on to the issues that actually affect them in their lives. And if they see a Washington, if they see a Republican Congress that is continuing to focus on something that doesn't affect their lives, I don't think that it's going to play out well for them.
But it's like a character issue. It's a character issue, right? I mean, in the same way that you look at Trump and his history with...
Well, no, let me
make the point and then you respond. But in the same way you look at Trump and his alleged history with women, and you say, all right, if he did those things, that reflects on who he is as a person, and that's something we need to know. You look at her, and if she's lying and misleading and dodging and weaving with the FBI and surrounding herself with people who do the same, it's a character issue for her.
Donald Trump joked about sexually assaulting women, and then a bunch of women came forward and said that he actually had groped them and been inappropriate with them. Yes, that is a character issue. Hillary Clinton has said that it was a mistake for her to do exactly what Condoleezza Rice, exactly what Colin Powell had done, exactly what the Bush administration had done by having their emails hosted on a private server.
Why didn't Huma, if you well know, if the FBI were investigating Barack Obama when you were working for him, before he was president, when he was running, and they said, we need all your documents, anything he's forwarded you, anything that relates to this private server he's keeping in his Chicago home, this is in fantasy world, you would have gone, you would have checked your home computer, you would have forked it over, Bill. Why didn't she? You understand why people say, I don't understand or trust these people or these decisions.
Right. Look, it's hard to comment on the warring factions inside the FBI who are leaking and counter-leaking and saying all sorts of things about who forked over what. We have a small piece of information from Director Comey that he stumbled into the presidential election to release at best. And so I don't know what Huma gave up or what she didn't give up, but that's not the point. The point is that this email situation is the exact same thing that Republicans had been doing for years before, and the American people are done with it. Like, yes, Trump supporters are not.
What Hillary did is
not the same. Yes, there are folks who don't like Hillary Clinton, do not.
Okay.
It is exactly the same. It's exactly the same.
No, it's, what do you mean? With Colin Powell? Is that what you're talking about? It's not the same. It's not the same at all, and that's been disputed.
With Powell and with Bush and his administration. Next time Karl Rove's on, ask him about all the Republican emails that were destroyed.
You well know that nobody had a homebrew server and did all of their business exclusively on it, and then destroyed documents after they received a demand letter from the FBI and FOIA requests and so on and so forth. I don't have time to litigate it.
Megan, actually, they did the exact same thing, and Karl Rove was under investigation at the time.
Okay. Even if that were true, which it isn't, two wrongs don't make a right. Pointing to other people's bad behavior to justify other bad behavior never works. But I can see that the Hollywood Hills are calling. I want you to go enjoy that with your snazzy glasses. And we're going to see you again before Election Day. Great to see you, Bill.
See you, Megan.
So as we get closer to the votes being counted, some folks on the left are going hard on Mrs. Clinton's critics.
If and when Hillary is president, what do you think will be the female equivalent of "you weren't born in this country"?
We'll show you how the president handled that one with Sheriff David Clark and Democratic strategist Julie Roginski. Plus, CNN says it had nothing to do with one of its best-known contributors sneaking questions to Hillary Clinton ahead of a debate. Tonight in a Kelly File exclusive, we'll speak with the former president of CNN about what he thinks on how this situation is being handled. Don't go away.
You got the WikiLeaks released a March 12th Podesta email showing you messaging the Clinton campaign with the exact wording of a question asked at the March 13th CNN TV1 town hall debate. Where did you get